Hey guys, this is Johnny, host of the Japan Travel Smart podcast, with a special heads up on what's coming ahead for the show. Well, first of all, I'll take a moment to describe the situation leading up to where we're currently at. As we've said when we started the podcast, over the years, we'd been gathering and jotting down many ideas for content, even before we recorded our debut episode. Actually, we feel like we're still scratching the surface for every topic and feature that we've ever come up with for a Japan travel podcast. Now, as far as podcast episode ideas becoming full scripts that are ready to record and release, at this point, everything we had backed up has been put out there in the podcast. We've made sure to keep a consistent schedule to keep the content coming, even when our chances at research and writing scripts get interrupted with our regular travel. And I'm happy to tell you that we'll be able to continue to provide regular podcasts for the foreseeable future. So by the time this special message hits the waves, we will be out and about in Japan as usual. Now, since at the moment, our ability for delivering content has caught up with our traveling schedule, we have decided to make good on something we had in mind for a while now. You see, we are not completely satisfied with the delivery that we made in a couple of our earlier episodes of the show, back when we were still finding our footing. We think it affected the quality of a few of the episodes, and that's why we've decided to re-record and re-release 3 episodes of the JTS podcast for now. The re-recorded episodes will be released sequentially over the upcoming weeks. Now, some important things to note. These upcoming re-recorded episodes will come a little more frequently than usual for you guys, every 2 weeks. And not only that, but the contents of the episodes have been revised, rewritten, and expanded with new details. I highly recommend you don't skip the next 3 episodes. As the re-recorded episodes are released, they will retain the original numbering, and in turn, the original version of that episode will be deprecated. Following that, we will be back with our regular content and regular schedule once we're back from this trip. Until then, feel free to write to us with your suggestions for the show, follow the podcast on your favorite app if you haven't already, and give us the 5-star review. If you like the show and find it useful, we will really appreciate that you take a moment to rate, comment, and subscribe. Well, actually, there's one other thing. I've been receiving so many kind messages and inquiries from those of you writing at japantravelsmart@gmail.com, and I encourage you to keep doing so, even if just to say thanks. Now, some of the inquiries and written reviews have motivated me to tell you guys about the following. Unfortunately, my podcast debuted in a bit of an unfortunate time for content creation, where people honestly have to wonder the extent to which content is AI generated. I wanted to share details on how I make this show possible. This is how it's been for me for a good while of producing the podcast. In the lead up for the week of a scheduled release for an episode, I have to drop anything else I'm doing for fun, which is a huge change in my habits. It takes me an entire week to research and fully script an episode. Besides research, I also take the time to jog my memory a bit, looking up the spreadsheets I made for previous trips and photographs I took of the places I decide to cover. On the release weekend for a scheduled podcast, it takes most of my Sunday to record, to edit, and to tag and post the episode. It takes me about 30 minutes to an hour to record any episode, which I record with my actual, real voice here at home in my makeshift studio on an Audio-Technica AT2020 microphone. This is a condenser mic, so I have to be in a really quiet part of the house at a quiet time of day when I record. Well, in any case, I love producing the podcast, and I want to continue making it no matter what. It's really no big deal. Nevertheless, I have decided to open up a Ko-Fi, and you can now buy me a coffee and support our Japan Travel podcast in a material way. I know that this is someone's favorite podcast, or right around there. So I would love to count on your support of JTS for the most tangible recognition for what we do. Ko-Fi support will definitely motivate me to keep providing regular Japan travel content for you to hear during your commute, during your workout, or for your next flight to Japan. It would also be amazing if you joined us with a monthly membership, also at Ko-Fi, but otherwise, a simple one-time tip is appreciated anytime. If the response ends up being positive, I guess I'll have to start thinking about upping the release frequency from the current 3-week schedule. Ko-Fi is a pretty painless way to support exactly this type of indie content. So if you were already thinking about a different way, I ask you to first check out the Ko-Fi link, which you'll find in the show notes. And of course, thank you for making up your mind on this, no matter who you are. My name's Johnny, and on behalf of the crew, you will hear from us again soon with more of the podcast that aims to make Japan travel better for everyone.